Hi, everyone, and welcome to Connections Resource Center. We're here today with Krish from Flow Drumming, and I'm Natalie Filiu. I'm Connections Communications and Outreach Coordinator, and I'm really thrilled to have Krish join us once again. So this is Krish Sundaram. I think Sundaram. I got it right
There
there.
you go.
From Flow Drumming, and Krish is going to come and talk to us about his drumming. So thanks so much for joining us again, Krish. This is really awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. This new way of reaching out to people, it's great.
And connecting, and of course that's really what your drumming is all about, right? Is connecting with others as well. So that's one thing I really want to talk about with you first before you went and did your drumming and showed us some tools and whatnot to actually make your own drums. So I wanted to ask, the first idea of the universal connection, the idea that music and the drum in particular somehow connects us to each other and to the world. So do you believe that this is true even during social distancing?
Yes, for sure. I mean, drumming is it's a natural form of expression. I'm not fortunate to have a 10-month-old baby in my house living with us now in our extended family. And he can just stand up and anything he can do this on, he does it on. So it's a natural, before you can say a word, when kids want dinner, they go
Yeah,
like this. And
it's
when they're
true.
happy, they go like this. So that it's a natural way to express ourselves. And
Mhm.
even people of different languages, different cultures, I think everybody knows might mean frustration or anger. And I mean, regardless of me smiling, that expression is more happy and jovial. And if you were to, maybe you're a little sad or tired. So the good thing about drumming when it comes to expression is for old and young, sometimes there's words don't exist to express every feeling we have. I'm sure we all have been in the situation where somebody's trying to explain something and they say, yeah, I feel you, I get you.
Right.
Even though the words don't come out, we understand. Whereas drumming gives that nonverbal way to express those emotions, and we can understand each other through that. And through drumming, if you
Mhm.
were to drum like for 15 minutes and you kind of might go into a trance and you get, you know, initializes and your imagination, you get
Mhm.
having thoughts and ideas and visions that, wow, I have an understanding now that I didn't have before. And it's something you can't put into words, but it's an understanding you'll have within yourself through
And I've heard you before as well talk about how when you're drumming, you're actually connecting with others as well. It's like you said, it's another form of communication, right? Without words, like you're explaining right now.
yeah, and the universal connection is also when you get into that trance or in that flow state, it's you're connected not just with people, but with the
Hmm.
universe. And
Right.
it can be a very spiritual experience as well. Like just like wow, where I understand things that I didn't before.
Right. And
Because
that
if
could,
we just close our eyes and play, if you did that with your family and everyone's doing something and you're just listening, you'll be able to say, "Oh, that's mom, that's Junior, that's so and so," and we recognize each other not by our voice, not by what we look like, but how we play. Because you'll be able to say, "Oh, only mom would play that," and
yeah.
so then at that moment you might say, "Oh, we recognize each other not only by our outward senses, but our inner feelings as well." There's a
Yeah. So that,
recognition within
right.
us. So that's a that's that connection that can happen like after playing for a few minutes and having fun.
So that connection that you're talking about with the drumming, with everyone and whatnot. And so basically, drumming is even more important because it provides as well that emotional release, right? That stress reduction. So really, drumming is a great tool to use if you're anxious or if you're stressed, if you need to cope with, especially now, right? With the pandemic happening, drumming is just one of those tools that would really help to release some of that anxiety and that stress.
One of the things I say in my workshops, drum talk, is one of my catchphrases is don't just say it, play it.
Right.
Because we don't want to just be in our head, right? We want to release those feelings
Right.
from our body. And as I said before, I'll say it again. Sometimes it's hard to talk
Yeah.
about certain things, but if
Mhm.
you can play them and let them out, you'll feel good. And sometimes words just don't exist, but the feelings exist, so you can play them. And everyone around you will understand you in that
Yeah.
way as well.
And that's so true, especially with children, right? Who have a hard time to express those feelings.
Yeah, they
But
might
when
not
they're
have the
drumming,
vocabulary
right,
to
exactly. But when
use.
they're drumming,
Oh,
they're able to kind of show how they feel,
yeah,
right?
exactly. It gives them
Hmm.
that opportunity to let those feelings out and emotions out.
So, I mean, kids, as you know, they love drumming, and I'm sure you, as you said, you've seen your little one drumming, and they do it when they can reach for any type of toy and whatnot. So, do you think though that when kids use items in the home to drum with, do you think that they experience the same benefits as drumming with real drums?
I think so for sure, because they're
Hmm.
expressing themselves when they do that. I don't. It's not like you can give a 10-month-old a lesson and say play this, play that. But if you put two sticks in his hand and put
Yes,
something in front of him, he'd play how he felt at that moment,
exactly.
because he or she can't speak words, but
Hmm.
they can definitely, if they didn't have that, it could be they'd find some other way to express themselves, either by screaming or laughing.
Hmm. So that's what you're going to be talking to us today or showing us, right? Is the different drums that people could use or make within their homes.
Yeah, there's
And
drums
then
that everybody has in their house, for
awesome.
sure.
So
There's actually a
awesome.
rhythm app that every single person has.
A what? Sorry?
A rhythm app
Oh, a rhythm app.
that everybody has built in to their body. Okay?
Very
You
true.
don't even
Yeah.
have to get an object. So that, I'll tell you right
Okay.
now, those apps, that app is Snap,
Yes.
right? App, Snap,
Mm-hmm.
Clap,
Yes.
and Lap. And you can hear each one of those sounds, each one of those apps has a slightly different sound. So if you're
Right.
together with your family, okay, one person snaps, the next person claps, the next person laps. So those are all apps, and there's something you can do together. And you
Right.
can, even with a clap, you may think, oh, that can be boring. But
No.
if I put my hand here, or I cup my hands, each position is a different sound.
Mm-hmm.
So just with that, you got three instruments in your clap.
You could even use your feet and you
Yeah,
could
you can
clap on your
stomp,
body and you could stomp. Yeah.
you can pound your chest,
Right.
you can slap your cheeks,
Your teeth, yeah, for sure.
right? And get a bit of melody from that as well.
Yeah, that'd be a really fun activity actually to do with a group of kids, right? And I'm sure that they'd be creative enough to come up with new sounds as
Yeah,
well. All right, well, Krish, I really enjoy this as always. I love chatting with you, and I'm gonna let you do your thing. And thank you so much again for joining us. And I'll
my
talk
pleasure.
soon.
Thanks for inviting me. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So, hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Connections. Once again, they put on a great video workshop, inclusive of all the community. So it's really great. I'm really honored to be invited. So as I said before, we all have that built-in app. Clap, lap, snap. And that's something you can all do together as a family. Other things you can do as a family, there's instruments everywhere. So I had this old mayonnaise container, and when it was finished, I rinsed it out. I filled it up with rice or dried beans. Now you got a little shaker. With these shakers, if you shake them sideways or up and down, you get a slightly different sound. So if I go back and forth with more wrist or do a firm shake, you can get a variety of different sounds from that. You can also use an old thing of salt, and I just taped up the top. And this one I put like small little pebbles, because this plastic is a bit harder. So you can have two things. So that's a couple of ideas for shakers. Well, I got one more shaker. This is an old Pringles can that I put taped up. The good thing about this Pringles can, it has these little ridges on the top. So what I do is I get a little stick, and I'll show you how I made this, and you can just and if you slowly, you can get a nice sound effect with that. And if you don't have any empty containers, you can also use a full container. You have here some macaroni and cheese. So let me talk about this stick for a second. This stick, drumstick, is a simple skewer, bamboo skewer. You can buy a package at the dollar store for like $1.50. Then I just wrapped it in some of this duct tape. And the cool thing about duct tape, it comes in all kinds of different colors and patterns. So you can have fun experimenting with the family. As you can see, if you remember this has red duct tape, black duct tape, and even some purple tiger stripe duct tape. So it's a great way to make a little stick. This reinforces it. The tape reinforces it, and it also protects any splinters from falling off or getting into little fingers. The only thing I did was cut off the tip here, so I cut it off the point from there, as you can see. So it's like that long. Great whale. I see a comment. Yeah, such simple instruments and so much fun to make. And you can make them together as a family. So once you have a couple of these little sticks, I don't have any with some other empty containers. I have some empty hummus. I have a old measuring cup from a rice cooker and another piece of Tupperware. And you can, what are the different sounds they make? So you almost have a little drum set here. And as you can see, even with this measuring cup, if I play with it flat, that's one sound. If I play with the tip, that's a different sound. So there you go. And you can have fun as a family experimenting with different objects around the house. Even someone can play the coffee bottle. If someone else is holding down the pulse. So the possibilities are endless. These things are great because they can't really break anything and they're not strong enough or heavy enough to break anything. I still would not recommend playing on glass because in the excitement it could fall over and then get broken. And if it is thin glass that might already have a crack in it, it's better to be safe. So don't use glass. But tin, plastic is great to use. I want to show you this now. This is like a bit bigger of a drum. And this is like a $10 drum. But it's just an empty water bottle. Right? So if you just turn that upside down and you can play it. So you can see if I make a fist or play flat-handed, it's a different tone. If I slap it, if I play it in the middle or on the edge with my fingers, if anybody's watching and they have something with them, or just tap on the table or snap or clap, or lap or pound. Play along with me now. It's also a great way to get energy out when kids at home are tired of being cooped up and it's raining, they can't go outside. Everybody grab something to play and say, "How do you feel today? How do you feel today?" How do you feel today? And if you have a family circle, you can take turns. Each person can go around and play a short little phrase. And it can be fun to see. And then you can play when people are excited or upset or just need to relax. It's good to play with your eyes closed. And just take some deep breaths and so it can be very relaxing as well. One of the interesting things about drumming is that it can relax you and give you energy at the same time. That's because it's been scientifically shown in different studies that drumming boosts the immune system. It also reduces blood pressure. So it makes you feel good and relaxes you at the same time. So playing with your eyes closed, slow, relaxing rhythms for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you can continue with your family will be good. And let's say you start off the first time doing it for 5 minutes and you do that 3 or 4 times. Sooner or later, you might find, oh, we want to do it for 10 minutes. Excuse me. So it can become a healthy hobby that can be progressively grow into longer durations. Another instrument I want to show you. This is a bit more advanced. I'll show you you go to Rona or Home Hardware and buy one of these cement tubes, cut it. You can then paint it like this, whatever design you like. Buy a drum skin like this. They have them at most music stores, but you can order them online. You'll have to soak this in water for about an hour, maybe, until it becomes very soft and pliable. Then you form it around your drum and staple gun it around. And then you have a really nice, taller drum. So, and you can play this. I wouldn't recommend playing this with big sticks, but with these little sticks. So this is a great art project to do with the family, and a good thing to do if it's a family drum. after you decide on the color, each person can put their handprint on the drum. So then it's truly a family drum, and everyone has their mark on it. Someone can put their thumb, someone can put their whole palm, someone can do the footprint thing. I don't know if you know what that is. You go with the side and go like that, and it looks like a footprint. So that's a great one. You can even, for smaller children, you can cut them smaller. So this is one that, our little one who's just starting to walk now, but he's 10 months. He can sit on the floor and play that. This one, as you can see, this one isn't finished yet, but, Oh, and a great thing you can do. This one costs a bit more money, but you can buy this bucket from Canadian Tire, okay? And in music stores, they sell these rhythm lids made by Remo, and they're specifically designed to fit these. And it just clips right on top. And there you go. You can play with a stick or your hand. And of course you can paint this or wrap it in tape. Do whatever you like. Be creative. These rhythm lids are about $40. So it's a bit more expensive, but it's not that bad. And it'll last a long time. Pretty heavy duty plastic. So a lot of good ideas there. How to make drums with things we have around the house, or with a little expense, you can go a bit more. So to end, I just want to do a little rhythm with all of you. So I'll give you a minute to get whatever you have from around the house. If you just have a pen close by and a coffee bottle, play on the table, run to the cupboard, grab some macaroni and cheese. When doing things as a family together, it's good if one person has a shaker, one person has a high-pitched sound, and one person has a lower-pitched sound. So it acts like an orchestra when there's all those different sounds. So if you have a shaker, a bottle, a stick on the table, if you don't have anything, I see some people have their shakers ready. If you don't have anything, snap, pound your chest, slap your chest, clap your hands, stomp your feet, use your mouth. I'm such a goof, right? So I'm going to start playing this drum. This is a djembe drum, so these ones are a bit more expensive, but you can find these in music stores as well. So let's start off playing something gentle, and then we'll build up to like a finale, right? So the good thing about drumming, we don't always want to start off saying like this as a family. Let's start off. It'll be chaotic too soon. But if you start off slowly, Take a deep breath. And then slowly build up. And look at each other as you play. So I think that's something, that was a lot of fun, actually. Another fun activity when everybody has their instruments, everyone can take a turn playing. Or you can take turns playing. One person plays, the next person plays. So use your imagination. The greatest thing about doing things like this as a family, there's no mistakes musically. You're free to express yourself and, get creative, try new things, and see what you can discover. Because a lot of the greatest discoveries in science and everything came out of people just trying something and making a mistake. So when you're playing music, oops, oh, wait a minute, that actually sounded good. Let me try to do that again. And that's how you discover things. So don't hold back, don't be shy. It gets easier as the more times you do it. In the beginning, people will tend to be more reserved. And as time goes on, they'll be more willing to take a chance and step out of their box and do something a little more exciting. So that's all the time we have for you today. Hope you guys enjoy, make the most of our time alone, in isolation and together as a family. Even those of us that are home alone and by yourselves, drumming can be a good meditation. If you don't have a drum, just any object. Close your eyes. Okay, so hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again to Nat and Connections for inviting me. Happy rhythms to everybody. Take care.